Hello, everyone. My name is Brad Laporte, and today I am here with Joe Simone, and we are back again for another monthly demo. Today, we're going to be talking about Morphosec in action and securing agentic AI against ransomware risks. So, we're going to dive into what is actually agentic AI and how it's revolutionizing businesses around the world. We're going to talk about how they're automatically executing tasks now and introducing really unique security challenges, and how these tools are really increasing really the access to your file systems and to your endpoints, and really that opens up a whole door to malicious activities, and really including ransomware like encryption. And today we're going to go through a demo of that and see a live demo of how Morphosec can combat and disrupt different attacks in the agentic AI ecosystem. And really, with this, we're going to talk about the risks of agentic AI. We're going to talk about real-time protection against these AI exploits, and really future-proofing your environments and being able to adapt to this and be more resilient in your environment. And then we'll go through some Q&A at the end. So, Joe, as always, thank you for joining me today and walking us through this.
Awesome. Thanks for having me.
Uh, so, let's drive into this. So, in terms of agentic AI and how that differs, a lot of times this is basically confused with generative AI. And really, when you're talking about generative AI, you're talking about generative static responses. We're talking about a query that's based on training and knowledge, and how that's basically been able to work. So you go to settings, how do I update my billing address, and you get a prompt, and then you get an answer. Agentic AI has really evolved into taking autonomous action across your systems and channels to complete those tasks on behalf of the user. And there's an adjacent term called AI agent, which is basically the agent that gets put on an endpoint or an asset or an application that is installed that basically is running all that stuff in the background. So how is this evolving, and how fast is this rapidly taking off? And really it breaks down to the fact that this really is the new frontier. Now we have AI assistants, we have simple AI agents, we have collaborative AI agents, we have AI agent ecosystems, and really we are evolving into a really interesting space where we now have this taking off, and organizations are really rushing to add these capabilities. It's business at the speed of now, and being able to do this, and this really opens up a huge frontier, as you can see, as kind of Google trends and things that Gartner's come out with in terms of growth. And really, what it breaks down to is it's really hitting an exponential curve now and really taking off. And unfortunately, it's business first and security last from an adoption perspective around the world. And as organizations are really drilling into this and starting to evolve into this, it's becoming a major problem. And basically the ransomware epidemic is not slowing down. We're now seeing this go into this new frontier, and now being reactive. This is not the time to be reactive. A lot of times these uh, assets and this new capability have access and direct access to your crown jewels and the key assets that you're trying to protect across your infrastructure. And security teams cannot defend against this now, currently, in terms of doing it in a really seamless manner and kind of a hands-off perspective. And really it's eating up a lot of resources and things of that nature. So you have to consider different types of polymorphic attacks, how AI is driving forward ransomware today and how that's evolving. And we'll give kind of a showcase of what that could look like in the near future. And really, you start diving into automated attack chains. You start driving into, really the high cost of ransomware. And the key takeaway is this is not going away. It's here to stay. And the average ransomware payment has gone up, as well as the median ransomware payment has gone up. And it's gone up over 104% since the beginning of this year. And the median ransomware payment is now $400,000 and growing. And 2 out of 3 payments now occurred because backups failed. So really it's coming down to the fact that this is now something that can't be ignored. And you have to future-proof your environments and being able to really mitigate against this and being able to have a scenario where you're limiting your attack surface and you're not allowing ransomware groups to provide this initial access methods and really move laterally and persist in your environment and really get access to those crown jewels that really that that need to basically have access to that environment. And it's interesting because AI specific attack techniques are emerging at scale, and they're really you have prompt injections, which is rapidly becoming one of the most common attack vectors. We now have really data leakage, which is also top of threat to AI systems. And really, you can imagine the havoc that could be implemented if an attacker actually has access to your environment. And really, AI is executing at system level actions. They're doing it at file access. They're doing API calls, and they're doing it on behalf of the user, but it's also on behalf of the attacker if they compromise that. So, once you have an agent compromise, an AI agent compromise, it does give you host level permissions, and attackers can exploit them. They can use that to bypass endpoint detection response. They can use that to bypass other traditional defenses and security controls, and they can use that to exfiltrate sensitive data. And then, in addition to that, being able to conduct not only traditional ransomware attacks, but also double extortion ransomware attacks, like being able to encrypt and then leak sensitive data. And then that could ultimately have cascading downstream effects. And, this is now, IBM has come out with their 2025 X-Force Threat Intelligence Index report, which basically says that almost 1/3 of ransomware attacks now involve some degree of automation or AI assisted infiltration in some way, shape, or form. So we're really on the cusp of this frontier and being able to move this forward. So really, without further ado, I'd like to kind of dive into the demo and really kind of show them, Joe, what this is all about and how easy it is now for threat actors to basically use this new attack vector.